good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining the our virtual Canadian Job Fair. We're at our third set of sessions today. So with me is Marcello. He's an employment consultant for the Speed Mentoring Program at ACCES Employment, an enthusiastic facilitator and seasoned professional. He is passionate about supporting job seekers in their journey to find meaningful employment. So thank you for joining our event today and presenting. I know that you've partnered with us in the past for many of our events and also to host webinars. We really want to encourage everyone to use the chat, ask as many questions as you'd like about job search. And I think that's about it on my end. So you can carry on with your presentation and I'll monitor the chat for you just so at the end we can sort of have that 5 minutes there for you to answer everyone's questions. Okay?
Oh, great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. Great, and welcome everyone. I apologize. I'm so used to doing Zoom meetings, so I love to see faces sometimes, but I know I can't see you. But I'm hoping that I can feel the vibe that there's some of you in the session. So again, as Sandra said, my name is Marcello Scarsella. I'm an employment consultant / online facilitator / event coordinator. So those are my main roles, and I'm with ACCES Employment. And again, we are one of the many services like Toronto Jobs that really help job seekers like yourselves network, engage, make connections, learn and grow, develop your skills, and hopefully support you along the way to help you secure employment. So ACCES Employment has been around for, almost 40 years, believe it or not. And I'm proud to be representing ACCES. And certainly we always appreciate, and we have for many years, and we hope to continue this, our wonderful partnership with the Toronto Jobs. And again, Toronto Jobs, thank you so much on behalf of all of us. So thanks to Rachel and Sandra, of course, and everybody at Toronto Jobs. So I know our time is very short together, and I'm watching my phone purposely because I want to respect your time, Sandra's time, and of course everybody's time. So it's now 2:35, so I'm going to get right into it. The topic that I'll be addressing a little bit today is called LinkedIn and virtual networking, and this is a great topic. We could probably talk for hours. Anyone that knows me, I could probably talk about it for hours. So I thought to myself, I want to hit you with some key points. So before I even get into the slides, I'm just going to move my slide down one here just for a moment. By the way, this slide talks a little bit about when the levels of government where a lot of the services work under this umbrella, in other words, Employment Ontario Services. And so EO really provides immediate support that's customized to fit the job seeker's needs. So that's what EO or Employment Ontario is all about. And so, for example, with ACCES, if you register with ACCES, and like many services out there, including Toronto Jobs, there's always some kind of support that can help you along the way. Whether it's speed mentoring, I'm part of the speed mentoring team or speed mentoring project, by the way, where we coordinate and host events to help our clients engage with potential employers, make connections, and those kinds of things. So that's really what I've been involved in for quite a few years now. But bottom line is, when you register with ACCES, there's a roadmap, and we're just there to kind of have that initial conversation and to hopefully offer some support as you move along your journey when it comes to job search and securing a role that really at least complements your skills and your experience. So that's really what we're all about. So, and just before I forget, I'm just going to mention this. I always suggest to anyone that I interact with to please feel free to check out our website, www.accessemployment, access with one S, two C's. So accessemployment, all one word, .ca. So again, www.accessemployment.ca. And really feel free, we encourage you to have a look at that. There's like many services like Toronto Jobs out there, we're doing a lot of things virtually. So of course, we're still offering our online services, and there are many webinars that you can register for. There's a section called e-resources or e-access, where there are many resources for job search, resume templates, pre-recorded webinars, virtual talk English. We have something like that for anyone that wants to work on their conversational English, for example, and practice communication skills. We have 10 to 12 sessions called virtual talk English each month. So again, you can register for as many as you want. There are many what we call sector-specific programs, and programs for youth, programs for entrepreneurs, programs for women, and it just goes on. So check out our website. We have a lot there that I'm sure that there's something there that can help you. So I encourage you to do that. I also encourage you to, I'm hoping that, I'm sure that you met some great people, or you connect with some great people in some of your sessions at the Virtual Canadian Job Fair today. So encourage you to engage as much as possible, especially in today's world. I mean, in our current, especially our current scenario. And, companies are going through changes, and they're creating more and more remote programs, or hybrid. That's the buzzword now. A lot of companies are moving towards some form of hybrid, remote / working on site, and vice versa. So you know what? It's important to really tell your story, let people know that you're around, that, show that best side of you, show the value of who you are. So I just want to mention that at the beginning. So I'm just going to leave this here just for a moment, this slide. And this just basically says, our topic today, LinkedIn and virtual networking. Really, LinkedIn, as probably everybody knows, is one of the most, is one of the largest, shall we say, professional online, platforms to use for career success, job search, establishing yourself as a professional or as a coach, or those kinds of things. But before I move on, I want to hit you with some, I guess you can call them 10 PowerPoints, or 10 hot points, you could say. So before we go on, because I have slides that'll back up some of the things that I'm about to tell you. Okay, so hot point number 1, you could say, and I don't know how many of you are on LinkedIn. I don't want to assume, but it's probably safe to say that a lot of you are on LinkedIn. If you're not, I would encourage you, if you're not sure, just go on to linkedin.com, and it really offers some easy to use, user-friendly guidelines to help you build your profile. But no matter how fancy we get, LinkedIn, like many apps, has gone through, and it's about the app, by the way. The app is really, really very user-friendly on LinkedIn. You know what? It's gone through many changes recently. It's taken on different forms. It even used some ideas that Instagram uses with stories, and even Twitter sometimes with stories and those kinds of things. But LinkedIn has gone back to its the platform or the format that it's known for. So no matter how it changes, there are 3 key areas that really need to be kept strong. And I'm going to highlight them this way. I'm going to highlight in keywords. Who? In other words, who are you? What and value. So think of those 3 words: who, what, and value. So what does the who mean? Well, the who means, of course, who are you? Besides, your name, of course. But how are you branding yourself? Are you a digital marketing expert, for example? Are you a career coach? Are you a dynamic trainer, for example? That's actually part of what I've got in my heading. Are you a financial professional, or financial expert, or financial management expert? I'm just throwing out some. So in other words, what is it? How are you representing yourself online? Because that's part of your branding, right? So that's the who part. Now the what and the value kind of go hand in hand. The what is sort of an expansion or expanded part of sort of that who you are. So in my case, now, if you were to look at my profile, I mean, I just say that I stick my neck out. And by the way, in case I forget to say this, if time runs short, we don't get to a lot of your questions, feel free to send me a message on LinkedIn. You can look me up, Marcello Scarsella. You can look me up. Feel free to do that. I don't mind if you want to connect with me. I will sometimes give a little bit of feedback on people's profiles, just a very, very brief. And if you have a specific question that you want to ask it, and then I'll do my best to respond to it, or refer you to someone that can respond to it. So I'm just saying that now in case we don't have a lot of time at the end. Okay, so I want to make sure I address that. So we have the who, right? What and value. So the what part is, what is your area of expertise? What are you really good at? Ladies and gentlemen, it's fair to say, and everyone, it's fair to say, hey, you know what? We're all good at different things. We've all got things that we're good at, we're very good at. But what are those 1 or 2 things that you're really, really good at, that you feel that you're an expert in? I use myself as an example. I'm good at different things, certainly. But I would say one of my areas of expertise is really developing curriculum and content and delivering content, whether it's online or live. I always feel that I'm at my level best when I'm doing that. Hopefully that comes across today, by the way. Hopefully. So just give me, it's important to think about that. What are you really good at, and ensure that that's expressed in your branding, in your resumes, of course, and in anything that you're putting out there, for example, on LinkedIn. So again, that's sort of the section 2. So there's 3 key areas. No matter what changes, I'm not going to get fancy today about LinkedIn. There's a lot of sub levels of knowledge that you can, do your own research, as far as other aspects of LinkedIn. My focus today is just those 3 key areas. How you're branding yourself. So the who, the what is, hey, are you highlighting your area of expertise? Last but not least, value. Now, when I say value, I'm talking about what have you done? What have you accomplished? What have you perhaps created? What have you implemented? What have you developed? And so on. That really adds value, that provides value for an organization, right? So again, and is that expressed all the way through your branding? I mean, it can be expressed more than once as far as that goes, whether it's on your resume, whether it's on, again, in LinkedIn. So there's 3 sections. If you were to actually look at your LinkedIn profile, okay, like again, if you looked at mine, and mine has, and I'm going to come to this. There's some slides that describe this, but I use what they call slash branding, or sort of, you could say it's not like one branding. In my case, I put in things like, dynamic speaker. I put in, live and online trainer, for example, that's in there. And again, those are things, and really my value, if you want to put it that way, is, and I put in event coordinators or event specialist. So, and the value with all of that is really, helping to, using resources to create valuable and exciting, networking, learning, and customer service experiences. That's what I'm about. So my the heart of who I am is to coordinate resources and to find the best possible way to provide the best experience overall for individuals, whether it's in a networking situation, whether it's in a learning situation, whether it's in a customer service sort of one-on-one or group situation. So that's what I've always been about. So that's me. But everybody has their own way of representing their branding. So again, 3 sections on the profile. If you have it in front of you, you can look at it on your phone if you want. If you see a slide here, by the way, that you want to take a picture of, feel free, to use your phone, that you want to just have it for reference. Okay. So again, 3 sections, right? So you've got who, what, value, or if you want to use it, refer to LinkedIn itself, you've got, of course, the picture, which, as the old saying goes, a picture's worth 1,000 words. You know what? And that doesn't change. That picture says a lot about you, because on LinkedIn, there's a lot of information, of course, that can be put there. But, how are people seeing or getting a sense of your, let's say, your personality, or even just who you are? There's a lot of, controversy sometimes, or different opinions about having a picture on there, let's say. But most of the experts out there encourage individuals to have your picture on LinkedIn, not on your resume. That's not acceptable in Canada, but on your LinkedIn profile. It is part of your online branding. It just gives that instant, oh, okay. And the picture we'll talk a bit about, but it should be something natural and show your personality. That's what so that you have the picture, you've got the heading. So that's section number 2. So the heading, the branding that we were talking about. And section number 3 is it's called 2 things really, either summary or the about section. And that's where you can really show off and tell your story. So that's a PowerPoint or hot point number 1. And I'm going to come back to that shortly. Hot point number 2, key sections, like I said, heading, branding, summary. So I'm going to go right over that. Just reinforce that. Hot point number 3, set job alerts. It's like anything. When you go on Indeed or whatever the case may be, you can set up job alerts for jobs that you'd like to apply for. What you do is, as you probably already know, a lot of you can do that on LinkedIn. And there's many different ways you can do that. I'll let you kind of do the research, and it's very easy to set those job alerts up. So again, I encourage you to do that very much so. I really encourage everybody to follow companies out there. Follow companies that you could see yourself working in because of what they do, or perhaps what they're about, or maybe their values. What is, and I encourage you to do that, because if you follow certain companies as you're doing your job search, you really get the inside scoop. You can see what they're doing. Some of them do developments. Perhaps they've just expanded, or they've won some awards for things that they've accomplished. And as you follow companies, you begin to see, well, who works there? And you can do an advanced search, and I'll let you figure out how to do that. You can do your own research. You can do an advanced search within those companies that you're following to see, hey, who are some individuals that work there? Perhaps I may want to, learn about them and perhaps connect with them. So again, these are things that sometimes people don't think about. So again, I encourage you to follow companies to get the inside scoop, we'll call it, the inside information. So that's another part of your job search on, using LinkedIn. And of course, all this is based on LinkedIn. We're talking about LinkedIn, but also virtual networking. So this is the whole concept of, because you're networking virtually. You're trying to connect with people and trying to engage and get to know who they are, right? You can set up something called, where you can notify recruiters that or really your whole community, shall we say, online community, that you're open to work. You probably see many people on LinkedIn. If you scroll through, have a look. There's some people that have an open to work, like a badge, or it's green. Probably a lot of you may have that. Again, there's different opinions on that. For me, I'll be honest with you, when I first saw it, I was a little bit hesitant. Then I thought to myself, well, you know what? If you want to give it a try, why not? It helps find ways to stand out a little bit on LinkedIn. So, that's something that you can do. You can set up what's called open to work. And there's a way to do that within LinkedIn, and you can check that out. Again, it said reach out to individuals in your sector. So again, you just do a search on LinkedIn. Reach out to individuals that are in your sector. So you want to get to know people that are in your sector. Get to know what they're about. What are some of their key skills? What are some of the key experience? Key thing to remember: what do you have in common, or what connects? Maybe there's something with an individual that connects with you, and then that can initiate that sort of the initial conversation or initial phrasing to sort of introduce yourself and to begin to connect with these individuals and start having some conversations. Okay, so that's something else that you can do. And again, it's always, and another hot point is just learn, engage. Two keywords: learn as much as you can about people that are on LinkedIn that are within your sector, and begin to engage with them, because that's how they're going to get to know you, and that's how you're going to get to know them. Okay. And again, as you're reaching out, refer to their common skills and their experience and so on. And by the way, I'm just going to read a couple of things too, because this is something. If you see people that you want to begin to connect with, this does take time, and you're going to get some no's. People may not even respond sometimes. That's the reality. However, you know what? Don't let that slow you down. But sometimes you need some ideas of how to start the conversation or start that initial stage about getting people to connect with you. So it could be phrases like, I'm currently expanding my network. This is one one of my favorites. I'm currently expanding my network within the financial industry, and I'm looking for opportunities to learn from industry professionals such as yourself. Please accept my request to connect. It could be something as simple as that as you're beginning to start to connect with people. So again, I'm going to read that again. I'm currently expanding my network within the financial industry, and I'm looking for opportunities to learn from industry professionals such as yourself. Please accept my request to connect. So that could be an example of the fact that, hey, you took some time, you looked at that person's profile, you see that they're an expert in their field, and you're recognizing that. You can see you're stroking their ego in a sense, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Another one, I was looking at your profile and was very impressed with your career path. I would appreciate the chance to talk to you about how you accomplished, and I have a blank here, so how they accomplished whatever, maybe how they accomplished their recent awards, or how they accomplished their surpassing targets in the recent project, or whatever it might be. So, and again, you're taking time to recognize something, or something that connects with you. That's important before you start making those initial requests to connect. It'll increase the probability of actually connecting with individuals. Okay, so I just wanted to share that. That's another hot point. I've lost count of my hot points. I know I had 10. So anyway, there's something called skill assessments on LinkedIn. Skill assessments. So in other words, if you take and you can see it there, just look at skill assessments on your profile, and if you begin to take some of those, they're like mini workshops, you could say, and that actually gives you like a badge that's shown on your profile that you've taken some skill improvements. That's a huge trend, especially these with many organizations. Skill enhancements. Keywords: share, post, share things, share your information, share your favorite, maybe it's quotes or articles out there, and post, when you're posting something on LinkedIn. If you go on the homepage, you can post maybe something that things that you care about. If somebody follows me on LinkedIn as my connection, you'll see many things that relate to leadership quotes, or that are motivational, hopefully anyway, or they're inspirational, things about customer service trends, leadership trends. Just to give some examples, and I'll share those things, or sometimes I'll see them on my trail, you could say, or my feed, and then I will reshare many things, but I'll retitle it, or I might make it a question. What are your thoughts about this? Or how do you feel about keeping yourself motivated each day, or something like that. So when I'm resharing it, I'm giving another title with that actual post or article, and then sharing that with my community. So again, that keeps you active. So it's all about activity and raising your profile. Okay, so those are some of the hot points I wanted to kind of get out sort of upfront before I go through some key slides here. And I know we're getting tight on time, so I'm going to apologize in advance. But hopefully whatever I shared so far, it helps you a little bit, and that you may want to probe a little further. Okay, So again, this is just a really quick review of what I just talked about earlier. 3 key sections: the profile picture is important, the headline, which is your branding, and the summary. So those are 3 areas. No matter what we talk about, besides the things that I just mentioned about hot points, this has got to be strong, it's got to be solid, and it's a continuous strengthening on your LinkedIn profile. So, and hopefully everybody can see this okay. So, a profile picture should be you're confident. It should show basically your personality. So a lot of I'm going to sort of skirt over some of this very, very briefly. So if I were to hit this, for example, I'd say, well, this one, nothing against the individual, by the way, but it's sort of dark, it's not very appealing. But oh, look at this one. Oh, that's a check mark. That means that's a good profile picture. And this one, no. Why is this an X? Because it's too busy. There's too many things on the table, too many things behind. The second picture is really kind of represents, let's say, what most experts like to see in a profile picture. It's pleasant. The individual has a pleasant smile. It's very sort of very endearing. It's very natural. There's not too much confusion in the background, or very little at all, and you can see that that's the individual. So it really gets down to having that natural picture. Okay, let's look at the headline. Now, these are some examples of some headlines out there. So if I were to go like this, okay, here we go. Now notice that 3 out of the 4 are let's say acceptable. So why is that? Well, have a look at some of these descriptions here. Okay. Now you've got this one here, and this is the lady that we saw before, multi-skilled professional, currently seeking employment. By the way, I would strongly discourage, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to stick my neck out here. I'm going to strongly discourage the fact that, to use the phrase seeking employment, especially if it's currently seeking employment. It's too general. It's too vague. If you're a recruiter out there, okay, let's pretend you're recruiters, or I'm a recruiter, and I see that, it's like, well, that's nice. What are you actually looking for? Okay, that's nice. I see your busy picture. I see you're multi-skilled. Well, that's nice, but what are you looking for? So you've really got to, so that's not acceptable, ideally, okay? But these are all more acceptable. Now you can see some of the wording there. So have a quick look. The first one, financial advisor at ABC Group, specializing in wealth management for high net worth professionals. Director of recruiting, helping companies find great talent in sales, marketing, and IT. So again, so just to give you some examples of. Now here's another type of branding. This is kind of style more that for me anyway. I'm not saying it's the best. I'm just saying my preference. And you see it on my profile. It kind of looks a little bit like this, where you're actually telling an overall story about yourself in the heading. So you've got someone like Alicia here. Now, if I hit this, oh, look at that, 3 out of 4. So the 3 out of 4 are pretty acceptable, except for Dahlia down here. She's got some sort of, but they're sort of there, and and okay, great editor, writer, graphic designer. Well, okay, it's sort of okay, but not really doesn't sort of stand out. But some of these do. Look at Alicia's here: marketing specialist, branding, brand development, strategic planning. So you've got those 3 that really sort of stand out as far as branding. Michael here, web developer. Interesting picture, right? But he's a creative, artsy guy, so that could work. Web developer, JavaScript, okay, mobile first design. Boris, human resources, software technology, certified trainer. So again, if you look at that, it's like telling that your whole story or key parts or highlights of your story right in the heading, because the people get busy. Recruiters are busy. If they look at your picture and they see your branding and says, oh, this is a cool story about this individual. Maybe I'll look a little further and check it out. So it encourages them to go further. And these are more headlines here, but the same idea. Okay. Now we're into the summary. As I mentioned, the summary is, so we've covered 2 parts so far, right? We've got the picture, we talked about the branding. And sorry, I'm watching our time here. I want to respect that we're at 2:56 already. So sorry, folks. I'm just going to go a little bit on the summary part, and then we'll check in with Sandra, see if there's any maybe questions I can quickly answer. Or remember I said before, if I don't get to your questions, you can send me a message on LinkedIn or connect with me and ask me the question that you might have had in mind, and I will do my best to respond to it that way as well. Okay, so basically summary. Let me say it this way, and I'll let you look at some of the information here. The summary, okay, this is the key, probably the most critical part of the whole LinkedIn profile. This is your chance to really show off who you are. So again, what I encourage you to do is come up with your story. People call it the 30-second sales pitch or infomercial. So the first section in the summary section or the about section should be your story, whatever your story is. In this case, we have Marella, and she's got her story here. I'm a recruitment specialist at techjobs.org. I have over 15 years of experience connecting tech startups. You can see it for yourself here. I decided to focus on emerging tech because I enjoy the energy of new and exciting products and services and the complexity of skills required in tech teams. So you can see all that there. Okay, so that's the beginning of her story. Now, from here, you can do many things. You can expand on that, and we have some other information where you can she goes on here to say, I understand the challenges of keeping abreast of new developments and regulations in the industry. I'm passionate about helping new companies build the right team. So that just gives you an example of Marcello here, okay, the right team the first time. So this is her story. Now, it doesn't have to be this long. I would encourage you to sort of have just sort of the base story of who you are, how you're branding yourself, maybe years of experience. What are you passionate about? What is the key part of who you are? Like, what's your mission? What are you really all about? And that's what's important. Okay, people have to know your story. People need to experience who you are. People need to understand who you are. So you can go on and kind of go on about this. But my point about the summary, again, is this. Okay, so again, start with a story. I encourage you to do that. Once you have your story, so at least your initial story about sort of that who you are, then I would encourage you to have points underneath, maybe 6, maybe 8, 4, something like that, that highlight your key accomplishments. So things that you've accomplished in the various different roles that you've held, because that's where you can really show, again, the big picture of who you are in that section. So I hope that makes sense to you. Okay. You can always probe this further or ask further questions about this, and I can, on LinkedIn, I can respond back to you on that. But I really strongly encourage you to do that. So your story, and then list a few of your accomplishments from the different things that you've done. If you volunteered recently, add that in there in your summary section. Okay, maybe you've received an award recently, or in something from feedback that you want to highlight there, or a project that you've worked on, or a document, or something that you've created or implemented. Hey, there's no harm in putting it in there as well. So again, 3 sections, right? Remember we said the picture, your headline, and how you're branding yourself. Third section, the summary or about section. Again, that's your story. It's summarizing your accomplishments, and that is really telling the big picture story of who you are. Keep that in mind. Big picture story. Okay, I'm going to just move on here a little bit. Okay, actually, I'm sorry, Sandra. I don't know if you're still here. I see it's almost 3 o'clock, so I don't want to push that. I'm going to stop sharing this now, if I may. Okay, and I don't know if that's okay. I don't know if you guys can see me over there. I don't know. Sandra, can you hear me? Okay. Hello. Okay, folks, it's now almost 3. I want to thank everyone for those that are there. I hope that there's a few things that I mentioned today that can be of help to you when it comes to LinkedIn and virtual networking. Again, you can please feel free to connect with me or send me a message on LinkedIn, and I can answer any questions that you might have and give you some perspective and certainly give some feedback on your profile if you wish. And I just get very brief. I do that sometimes, so certainly have no problem doing that at all. Okay. So just wanted to see, okay, we're now at 3 o'clock now. So I hope that you have a wonderful time at the rest of the event today. It's a fantastic event that Toronto Jobs puts on. So again, thank you so much for your kind attention. My name is Marcello Scarsella, ACCES Employment. Sorry, I don't hear Sandra. So I guess everybody, here's the, okay. Okay, Sandra, how are you doing? Everybody good? I'm just going back to check another. Okay, thank you. I'm reading some of the comments now. Sorry. Hi, thank you, Cindy. This was fantastic. Thanks. This is Gustavo. Can you please share your LinkedIn again? Yeah, just look at my name, Marcello Scarsella, on LinkedIn, and you'll find it on there. Okay. I see Clara. Cece. Everyone, I'm a research analyst with over 10 years of experience in data collection and management, research design, and statistical analysis with excellent analytical communication and problem-solving skills. Oh my goodness, Clara, if you're still there, that is a cool, first a great introduction, and that's a great story and if it's not in your LinkedIn summary section, it should be in there. You should have it right in there in that section. That's fantastic. Applause. Hey, send me a message on LinkedIn. We can talk more. Hello, I'm from Costa Rica, tech subject matter expert, looking for an opportunity to work and migrate to Canada with my family. Okay, and again, Gustavo, I would encourage you to register with whatever service makes sense for you, whether it's us or sort of connect with Toronto Jobs, any employment service that's going to at least give you a chance to have a conversation and perhaps provide some job search support. Okay. So Sandra, I don't know if I think she's helping somebody here. So Gustavo says thanks. Okay, I'm just trying to respond to one of the ones I see here. Okay, everybody, thank you again. It's now 3:02. I want to respect your time. So again, thanks so much. I'm just going to make a note here at the end here. Hi everyone. Thanks for being here. Have fun and see you again. Hello. Okay. Great. So thanks everybody again. Take good care of yourselves. Stay inspired. Stay safe. Happy job search journey. If you're already working now or not working, again, remember those hot points I mentioned at the beginning. The who, what, and the value. Who are you? What's your area of expertise? Is that showing through in the different areas of your branding, and as well as the value. So again, what can you bring to the table, as they say. What's your what are you really good at, and what can you contribute with all your experience and all your skills. Okay, so everybody take care, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, have fun at the rest of the virtual Canadian Job Fair. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.